Hello, everyone. This is Sean from Barry Digital Media, and I hope you are doing well. Today, we're going to take a quick look at just some ethical considerations in AI. And why I'm doing this is because AI is very relevant in digital marketing. Digital marketing is taking use of these AI models to primarily help the customers, but at the same time, with all that power, you can get a lot of there's going to be a downside somewhere with it, like whether or not, like the classic example is somebody started to order a lot of products, a lot of special products off of Amazon, and then Amazon's AI determined before even the person knew that she was pregnant and started to suggest products that were related to pregnancy to her. So, I mean, Amazon's system did a great job, but this is something that Amazon discovered even before the woman was discovered, or even before the woman figured out that she was pregnant. And so it kind of took something away from her, although I think it was still overall a benefit because, okay, so I'm putting in my own bias, but you can see just from that, these are going to be deep conversations that we have pretty much for the rest of the time. So let's start looking into some of these points here. So some of the points here are proportionality and do not harm. Do not harm, that seems pretty self-explanatory, although with such great power that the AI is going to have, odds are it's going to make mistakes. As the scale and the proportionality of the models grow, mistakes will happen either just from maybe an engineer making a mistake within the model, or if the model just goes so far in one direction, it might leave out some people on the other side. And so probably the best example of that is a lot of people are concerned that AI are going to take their jobs, and that is a great concern. And although AI will likely create 10 times the amount of jobs that those people will be able to take, there is still going to be an adjustment period, and there is still going to be a fringe that will not be able to adjust or refuse to adjust to the new way of work. So there will be some disgruntled, or not disgruntled, but there will be some harm as we go on with AI. Then safety and security. This is going to be a big one. Again, with the large power that the AI has, there's going to be some use cases where the AI actually does people harm, and we might not be able to see that, at least not see it right away. And then security as well. These large AI models are going to be able to take large sample sizes of people and figure out all sorts of different details. Like for an individual, it might be able to figure out somebody's password. So if a person has their password set as their home address, or somebody or their family member's name, there's a good chance that the AI is going to figure that out and do a brute force security hack around that. But then other things as well, like the AI will likely be able to find out health vulnerabilities for individual people and discover them even before the person knows. And then somebody with malicious intent might take that information and use it for their benefit against the individual. And then even at a larger scale, countries as well. AIs will likely be able to look at a country and find certain vulnerabilities within their structure. But taking it back to digital marketing, AI can probably pick out all sorts of vulnerabilities that specific companies have. All you need to do is put in a prompt saying company X, what are their vulnerabilities into ChatGPT, and it will likely be able to give you 10 different vulnerabilities. So the next point there is right to privacy and data protection. So again, these AIs, they're probably going to be able to just work through different security systems and find out and find the hole within the security system and then gain access to it at a much larger or much more sophisticated rate than just what an everyday hacker could do. And then privacy as well. The AI might not need access to any of your personal accounts, but just taking a look at your LinkedIn profile picture or your Facebook photos, it might be able to discover that, yes, this person has a risk of cancer because of these skin details that I see on them. So it'll probably be able to take that and it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. Multi-staker and adaptive governance in collaboration. So I think what this is just saying that is we want to have multiple perspective as we dive into the world of AI. So we want people from the person on the street doing their everyday job, making minimum wage, to upper politicians, to the tech crowd, to the mining crowd. We really want, AI is going to touch everybody, so we want to be able to get everybody's perspective on how AI can help them, and then try to balance it so then we can raise the floor while also uncapping the ceiling for everybody. Responsibility and accountability. There's likely going to be new laws that come about and new regulations. And so if you create one of these AI systems or if you create an AI system that is designed around doing people harm, then you want some sort of protection around that and some sort of guidelines. So people are incentivized not to do harm. Transparency and explainability. So yes, explainability. That I think is simply just your AI system should be easy to understand enough for most people to understand. So it's not, what should I say? I guess if it's in the public domain, in the sense that if the public can access it freely, it should be able to say what it does plainly, not in any sort of legal terms. Just this is exactly what it does, and this is what you should expect. And that kind of goes to transparency as well. So perhaps, so with some of these large language models in AI, you want to be able to see exactly how these AI systems are working. So there's no explicit bias, making it in everyday terms. You don't want it to go to the left or to the right too much. You want just the straight answer. Now, maybe you can have a separate AI language model that is biased in the direction that you want. But again, it should be it should be explained clearly, so everybody who's using your product can understand exactly what they're getting. And then I did find this article, which is pretty good on the topic of the different challenges. So one of the things that it brings up is concerns about data accuracy or bias. So again, the bias there, your model could be leaning too much in one direction or the other. Like, let's say if you're really into, I don't know, if you're really into a certain belief system, it might skew too much in that direction. But at the same time, some of the data that you're loading into your AI might be wrong. For example, the current, or I think it's Grok actually, they at first they basically took a ton of what's out there in the internet and to create their language model, but then they found out that a lot of that information was biased in a certain direction and not giving accurate information. And so now what they did is they chopped the information that they were using for their language model into more quality information. So that should help out with their accuracy. Insufficient proprietary data available to customize model. So potentially in a specific niche, let's say brain research, there's not a lot of information out there on exactly how the brain works. So that's probably what this is saying here. And so you want to have accurate results, but if you don't have enough research already, then it's just going to make up answers. Then this is saying inadequate generative AI expertise. So AI is still a very new industry. Like it's very new, both before ChatGPT, and it's still new even in the systems that were using AI before the more public tools that are available. And so I'm sure they're making tons of mistakes as they go. So it's not something that we can rely upon yet. Inadequate financial justification or business case. So a common concern is that the AI is going to replace a lot of people's jobs. So yeah, it can take a lot of the work that lawyers do, that copywriters do, and that HR does. But at the same time, it's still limited. You still need a person there to confirm that the results are accurate. And then concerns about privacy or confidential data and information. So yes, again, privacy and confidential is still a big issue for AI. Because it's going to be able to make very accurate guesses, especially the more developed that these systems and tools become. So put in ethical considerations of AI and business inside of Perplexity here, and the top things that it brought up is, again, bias and fairness, transparency and explainability, privacy, accountability, responsibility, human oversight and autonomy, inclusiveness and social impact. I'm not sure about the inclusiveness there. Security and safety, environmental and social responsibility. So that seems to cover pretty much everything that I already spoke about, but one thing that the AI is doing is it does take a lot more energy to use when compared to search results. And so we want to make sure that the energy that we're creating is responsible. New nuclear and new fusion plants. That would be pretty great. So yeah, I think I'm reaching the end of this topic for now, but this is going to be an evolving topic as we go, and so I thought this might be a good introduction. Thank you.